Rohan, you're chasing a story about a guy who wrote an article that's causing all kinds of controversy, at least in the Ivy League world, saying don't send your kids to the Ivy Leagues. What do you got?
That's right. I chased this to Princeton, where author Bill Deresiewicz wrote an article called Don't Send Your Kids to the Ivy League. It was published in the New Republic, and it received viral success. He's on a tour right now of Ivy League colleges, speaking to some of these students.
It came from a very strong sense that a lot of students at Ivy League and other type schools were unhappy with their education and needed to talk about it and needed some guidance.
What he says is that Ivy League students end up being superb at being students, but not as being thinkers.
Wait, that sounds like such a crazy thing that he's saying. Like, some of the most successful people in the world went to Ivy League schools, and of course you only hear about the ones that aren't satisfied. You never hear about the ones that are very happy.
There's no broad brush. There's no, like, Ivy League student, everybody falls into the same box and is exactly the same. There are men, there are women, there's different cultures. You can black, white, Latino. So there's all kinds of students who are Ivy League students. That said, you determine your own path. That's what I believe. You determine your own destiny. So if you're not fulfilled in your life, it's not because of the school you went to, it's because of the decisions you made in your life.
I actually caught up with a friend of the show, Susan Patton, probably the most famous Princeton mom that there is. She actually disagrees with Bill on this subject.
I don't think anybody thinks sending your children to the Ivy League or any place else will result in a fully formed human being. Obviously, these are formative years. But I think that in terms of getting for your children or for yourself the best possible education and establishing them in circles that will be influential and meaningful and helpful throughout a lifetime, you don't do better than an Ivy League education.
I wanted to see, how this affected the people that he's talking about. So actually some of the students on campus told me some interesting things.
He has valid points, but I don't think that his entire argument was completely valid.
People are happy. They do end up with jobs that they're happy at, and most people here are happy. So,
who looks at just one job or just one school, one degree as their source of fulfillment? I mean, your life has to be well-rounded and balanced, and I think that he's focusing on a small thing. I wonder if there's some bitterness because he spent so much time in the Ivy Leagues. I don't know.
Bill, I went to a state school. I have no idea if my life is fulfilled or not. I'm 30 years old. When do you figure that out?
You're doing just fine.
Next.